Good morning everyone, welcome back to another video. Please sit down and chill with this one because this is just like before when we tried to increase our sprint power from like absolutely nothing to 1000 watts, 5 seconds. This is a similar kind of experiment and video, and if you're interested in this sort of thing, you're in for a treat because unlike a lot of other kind of resources and YouTube channels, I'll actually do the experiment for you so you don't have to. I will put myself through this pain so you don't have to. So let me get into this because it's going to be a little bit detailed, but I'm going to keep it as short as possible. The aim, the target, everything you want to know is I need to be able to do 10 watts per kilo for 2 minutes. We're going to delve into the data now to see what my personal best is up to this point, this year and all time, how we can improve that using sessions, and then how we're going to inevitably test to see how much I've gained over the next 4 weeks. So that's the target, 4 weeks, and we're going to go and aim for 10 watts per kilo for 2 minutes. So let's go. Okay, so I'm looking at my laptop here, but I'm going to show you the screen so you can see it as well. I'm going to show you first of all the sessions I'm going to incorporate. So this is my Training Peaks account. Not much to see here for this week. It's all a little bit. I've just put workouts in. I haven't like moved them around where I want them yet. So this is what I'm working with. So I've spoken to a couple of people who I remain unnamed, but they were once with the British cycling system. They trained British cycling, went to Olympic Games, went to World Championships on the track. So they know a thing or two about training for short efforts, and the idea is still very much similar. You know, what we're trying to do is create maximum power over a short term. I would consider 2 minutes still short term. And then basically you're trying to create the same kind of changes in the body in these efforts on the track as you do for a hill climb, a short hill climb, which is what we're training for. So a couple of workouts, as you can see, we've got activation leg speed work, which is basically high cadence sprints. Won't go into too much detail, but you can see 3 sets of 3 reps, and then this next one here we have strength work, standing still workout, or standing start workouts rather. We've got 3x3s. But I've got 6. I've just got 6 sprints laid out there with. Let's just take a look. I think they are 7 minutes of recovery between them. But they are standing starts in a big gear. So not what I would have in a hill climb, but the idea is you're recruiting the whole kind of system to get yourself to move, and it all comes down to force and torque application of things at the end of the day. So that is something. You got to remember, I don't do these. And last time we did these when we were doing sprint work, so we were targeting 10-second power, which is granted a little bit easier to target than 2 minute power. There was quite a big difference in what I saw over the 4 weeks. And then we have this tasty little session here. By the way, when I was sent these sessions by the person involved, they said these are savage. These are savage. And I was like, great. Like, this is somebody who has, competed at World Championship events, Olympic standard rider, and they're telling me they're savage. Perfect. So, 1 minute on here at basically as hard as I can go. The text I received said max, like flat out. So the 558 watts there is probably irrelevant. 2 minutes very easy. 1 minute flat out, 2 minutes easy, 1 minute flat out, bang, bang, bang. And basically they said, do it till you can't do any more. And they said they got to like 7 or 8 reps. So go figure, we'll see what happens. I've named these the WTF intervals because these are just absolutely staggeringly difficult. I gave them a go the other day just to see, and oh my word. Okay, these are, like, I'm not gonna lie, these are pretty serious. So it's 10 seconds maximum, 50 seconds rest, 20 seconds maximum, 40 seconds rest, 30 seconds maximum, 30 seconds. You get the idea. All the way up to 50 seconds maximum, 10 seconds rest, straight into 1 minute max. 1 minute max after 10 seconds rest. So you can see where this is going. Like, these are horrendous. The longer the interval gets, the shorter the recovery gets. So as you can imagine, that last 1 minute is not actually your maximum. Well, it's your maximum what you can do, but it's not actually your maximum. So this is incredibly good as far as I can see. I'm surprised I haven't thought about it before, but it's incredibly good at basically forcing you to go, even when your body's like, I can't do it. Like, there's too much. My legs are just giving out. There's too much. But actually, you're still giving yourself that micro rest. You can go again and just give whatever you've got. So that's that. And then we have this workout, which is just 30-second VO2 max sprints. Callum Brown, who is like one of the monsters on the hill climb scene, does 30-second max efforts. He does a minute max efforts with loads of recovery in between, like 20 minutes. But this session just has 4 minutes, and this is one that I've used in previous training plans, so I'm used to that one. The other one, actually, I found from Scotty Weiss. Those of you will be familiar with that name on Zwift. He actually has this session that he does, where he does like micro sprints. So it's 10-second sprints, 10-second rest. So I think he does 12-second sprints, 12 seconds rest, but I've just done 10 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 seconds. And it's like, well, try and say that fast. So I've got 3 sets there and a bit of recovery in between. So pretty solid. So as you can see, you know, for the most part, I'm not trying to completely gain maximum power. All I'm trying to do is just get a little bit faster and not die off in that second minute. Because let me show you this. So this is the event I did on the weekend, which was actually 4 weeks and 1 day out from the National Hill Climb Championships. Now, this hill climb involves you just going as hard as you can, basically, for 2 minutes, or 2 minutes 20, 2 minutes 25. But 2 minutes, it gives us a round figure to work with. So for 2 minutes, I did 8.6 watts per kilo, and I did 515 watts. Now, if you look at the first minute, I actually did almost 10 watts per kilo, 9.8 for the first minute, or minute 5, at 590 watts. The second minute is staggeringly different, and you can see it's 7.5. I'm sorry, that's 1.5 minutes. Let me just drag that back. So the next minute is 7.6, roughly, at 450 watts. Now, I can do 7.6 watts per kilo for like 4 minutes, 5 minutes, like no problem at all. But I obviously drop off quite a lot at the end of a maximum 1 minute effort. So I did the maximum 1 minute and then boof, I fall off a cliff. And that's what I settled at when I was going as hard as I possibly could, which is interesting in itself. But it also leads me to think that if I can do 10 watts per kilo for a minute and then hang on, or maybe if I do just over 10 watts per kilo for a minute and then hang on to 9.5 watts per kilo, then that would give me an average of 10 watts per kilo. So this is what we're looking at. This is the comparison. So if I look at my power curve, and I'm just going to use Strava for this since we're here, and if we look at all of 2020 this year, that ride itself was my best power I've ever done for a minute to, let's keep it to 2 minutes, for this year in 2020. Now if we look at 2019, again, it's more. Like 2 minutes is more. It's like 52 watts more, which is a fair whack. We look at 2018, and actually my 2 minute power is lower than what it was in 2018 by 20 watts or so. So it's possible. And if we look at which hill climb that is, we'll be able to have a look for you right now actually. Well, it's not a hill climb, pardon me, it's a training ride, where I actually did a 2 minute test for the nationals that year, and that watts per kilo was 9.4. So it's doable. I think we can get there. You know what I'm saying? I think we can get close to 10, which would be absolutely mind-blowing considering I don't train this like at any point, and yet there's a possibility here that we could gain, you know, 50 watts, but we could also lose half a kilo, and that just has, it's marginals at the end of the day, half a kilo, but that just literally, for one day, for the one day that we say we're going to go for this, after we've done this training, we're going to go for this, and we're going to see, you know, because we might not be going to the National Hill Climb Championships now, we can just choose a local climb that's very, very similar and see if we can do 10 watts per kilo for 2 minutes. And that'll be the experiment. So, that's going to end this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it's provided you with the insight and got the cogs turning, so maybe that some of you might want to experiment with this one day. And yeah, I hope it helps. Stay tuned. We're going to be doing some of these interval sessions outside and inside. So I hope you enjoy it. See you in the next one. Actually, I just forgot something incredibly important that I know some of you are going to bring up, and that is a gym training, weight training. No, I won't be going to the gym. Why? Because it's not practical. I can't get to one. But you know, this is interesting because not everybody has access to a gym. Not everybody has access to equipment. So what I'm going to be doing instead is I'm going to be focusing, you know, 100% on technique on the bike, you know, raw power on the bike, so strength training on the bike, and the stuff that I do like off the bike is just going to be stuff that any of you can do. So you don't need like, you know, some fancy equipment or anything like that. That's all we've got here, to be honest, is we got a barbell, and we've got about 30 kilo, I think, of weight to go on it, which is not a lot, but it can help in terms of just recruiting, and also like things like, because at the end of the day, one of these things that bothers us as cyclists, because we don't fully extend, our glutes tend to get underworked, and they're actually fairly weak. So things I can do with just a 30 kilo weight is, you know, hip thrusts and things like that. So these are things that will supplement the training, but they won't be the emphasis. You know, that could be another experiment down the line where we actually, you know, go into a gym and we spend a month at a gym and see what happens after that. You know, where we have unlimited weight to work with. Not that you know, these arms can really deal with that, but you know what I'm saying. So we're going to include that as well. So if you want to see some of that, then leave a comment down below, thumbs up, subscribe. See you in the next one.